catching up in double time. James analyzing every line. Paul's out of sync, but they don't care. Three minds tangled, but they're always there.
Okay, campers, rise and shine, and don't forget your booties, because it's cold out there today. Excited, Colin?
Want to live this same episode over and over again?
Exactly, because it's Groundhog Day. I'm James. I usually write an essay on it. Paul, you watch it in the wrong order. And Colin,
I've usually not seen it.
are you okay, mate?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yourself?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad. Finally getting round to this. Quite looking forward to doing this one, actually. So today's episode, if you haven't guessed already, is Groundhog Day. And before we get into that, we'll do some housekeeping. So you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Facebook pages.
You've really committed to not saying X, haven't you?
I have, did you notice that?
Yeah.
You can watch and listen to us on YouTube and Spotify. Spotify for creators, Good Pods, Apple Podcasts, Audible, Amazon Music, and Castbox. We are also part of the Podpack Collective, a group of indie podcasters. You can find them on pretty much anywhere, but go and check them out on Twitter, and you can get their Spotify and YouTube details.
Welcome to Shatsunami, a variety podcast that discusses topics from gaming and films to anime and general interests.
Previously on Chatsunami, we've analysed what makes a good horror game, conducted a retrospective on Pierce Brosnan's run as James Bond, and listened to us take deep dives into both the Sonic and Halo franchises.
Also, if you're an anime fan, then don't forget to check us out on our sub-series, Chatsunani, where we dive into the world of anime. So far, we've reviewed things like Death Note, Princess Mononoke, and the hit Beyblade series.
If that sounds like your cup of tea, then you can check us out on Spotify, iTunes, and all good podcast apps.
As always, stay safe,
Stay awesome, and most importantly,
Stay hydrated.
And a wee shout out to Wits Script as well, friends of the podcast. Their latest episode was the Da Vinci Code. I listened to that, it was pretty good. Some interesting takes. I don't know if you get around to it yet, Colin.
Oh, not yet. I'm probably trying to think. I feel like I might have seen the film like years ago, but I would obviously need to rewatch it.
Aye. I've only seen the first one. I might have seen a wee bit of Angels and Demons, but not enough for me to actually just kind of probably pay attention to it. The first one was pretty good.
Based off a book, isn't it?
Aye. I think they're all books, aye. Right, okay. So just on the housekeeping stuff, we are sitting at 198 subscribers on YouTube. So we would love it if you could subscribe to YouTube and get us to the magical 200 mark. And you can also leave a review and put a subscribe to the Spotify as well. So it'll be handy for that to get us 5 stars. So yeah, keep on doing that. Thanks for everybody who has subscribed to us so far. We do appreciate it. And hopefully many more to come. Our last episodes include the Black Mirror episode Bête Noire, the Truman Show, and the first Black Mirror episode of season 7, Common People. So if you haven't listened to us a while, we have started a kind of wee, I don't want to say side series as such, but we are doing the Black Mirror episodes as we go. And next week is another Black Mirror episode. So if you do
Hotel Reverie.
I still haven't seen it, but we'll go on to that. If you do like Black Mirror, or you know someone who does like Black Mirror, then point them in our direction. Okay then. So next segment, what have you been watching? Colin.
What have I been watching? So I did actually watch 3 episodes of 24.
Excellent.
And I do like it. My only concern, as you can probably guess, is the 9 seasons thing has put me off a wee bit, because I'm like, that means I wouldn't be able to watch anything else for like a long, long time.
Aye. I know, mate. It's hard, isn't it?
So I don't quite know what my plan will be, but I'll keep you updated. Been a couple of trips to the cinema during the holidays. Went to see Superman and Jurassic World Rebirth. I also watched Jurassic Park Dominion, which I hadn't seen in the house. I finally got round to watching Happy Gilmore, which I dropped a wee short review of. Haven't. I started watching the second one, but I haven't watched it yet. A movie that I really enjoyed, which I would recommend, maybe one we could review at some point, was Speak No Evil. It was the one with James McAvoy.
Aye. I think that was on your list at one point, wasn't it?
When I was doing a wee bit of, I think it was school stuff the other night, I watched Forgetting Sarah Marshall, which is a kind of comfort film I've always liked. I've been watching a Netflix documentary called The Monster of Wall Street.
Right.
And there's probably other things I've watched while I've been off, but I also watched Godzilla 2014 for the first time as well. So been checking a few things out here and there.
Oh, good. Been pretty
What
busy.
about yourself?
For myself, mate, I watched Night Agent season 2, so I watched all of that. I have watched Inside Number 9, episodes 3 and 4.
What do you make of them?
Aye, they're okay, mate. I mean, there's some, like, I think 3 and 4 were the one with Tom and Jerry.
That's a good one.
Aye, that's the one with the homeless guy kind of invades.
Yeah.
Aye, yes, that's
He never leaves.
Yes, it's actually quite interesting, that.
That was a good one. What about 4?
Last Gasp, it's called.
Which one was that again? Was that the one with the like a birthday party or something?
Aye, it's the wee lassie's got a birthday party, and it's aye. That was
Tom and
good.
Jerry's one of the really good ones, I would say.
Aye, I did like the second one as well, the Quiet Night In, kind of the silent one. Aye, that was good.
It's worth having a look at.
Aye, I did look at it though. I did like the fact that they've done 9 series for Inside Number 9.
Do you know, I was gutted when I bought my new house. I kept thinking Nelson Mandela effect that it was number 9 I was buying, but it's actually number 8. But I really wish I'd bought a house that was number 9.
Oh, do you?
Well, that'd have been cool. Inside joke.
I know, but bad things happen Inside Number 9. So, well, so far I don't know.
I've not watched it all yet, but it's worth watching. There's some really, really good episodes.
Aye.
The wee twist at the end.
Aye, I do like that. So I watched 3 and 4 of Inside Number 9. I watched a program called Bigfoot Revealed, A Flash of Beauty it's on Amazon. It's all right, mate. It's not as good as the stuff I've been watching before, though. I watched the film Deepwater Horizon. It's on Netflix. It's a good film.
What's that about?
Do you remember the oil spill? It happened in, I think it was 2010.
Is it the Gulf of Mexico?
Aye.
Yeah.
So it's about that. So it's
that sounds quite interesting.
True events. So it's good. It's got Kurt Russell in it and Mark Wahlberg.
Mm-hmm. So is it like, so it's not like a documentary?
No, it's a film based on true events.
I'm going to make a note of that one, actually. What was it called again, sorry? Under
Deepwater Horizon.
Deepwater. I always like what a movie with a real world
aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've added that on them.
Cool. And I've started rewatching Line of Duty. So season 1, episode 1 and 2, I've watched them.
Cool.
And of course, Groundhog Day for the podcast.
Of course.
Okay, so
I'm hoping to go see Fantastic Four maybe tomorrow if I can.
How's the cinema doing? How's it coping? I know it was in trouble at one point.
I think they're doing a lot better, yeah. They seem to be doing pretty well. They're doing a lot of like TikToks and stuff and doing like wee video reviews and things like that. And I think they do really well. You get all the new films in on the day, and there's always a good variety.
Aye, good. So let's get on to it then. Groundhog Day. So it was released in 1993. It was directed by Harold Ramis, aka Egon from Ghostbusters.
Yep.
It was written by Harold Ramis and Danny Rubin. The cast, I've only written 3 down here, mate. Just laziness. Bill Murray plays Phil Connors, Andy McDowell plays Rita, and Chris Elliott is Larry, who you might know as what's her name? Lily's dad.
Lily's dad, yeah. I was going to mention that actually.
And How I Met Your Mother. The runtime for the film is 1 hour 41 minutes. It's a budget of 14.6 million, and it took in 71.1 million. It scored 8 out of 10 in IMDb and a healthy 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. The tagline for the film: what would you do if you're stuck in the same day over and over? Anything you want and everything your heart desires. Anything surprises you there, mate, in terms of budgets and scores?
I thought it would have maybe made more than that,
Aye,
but it could have been one of those ones that just grew in popularity over the years.
I think so. I mean, 1993, what, I was 8 at the time. Where's with you?
2.
Aye. So you would have seen it in the pictures.
No.
Neither would I, to be fair. I didn't see the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
As we go on to that, actually, what is your history of the film?
So, despite the usual mantra, I have seen this before. I watched it a couple of years ago. I think I've only seen it once. I remember watching it with the wife at one point, and I enjoyed it. I'd forgot bits of it, so it was obviously useful rewatching it for the review.
Aye. I saw it years and years ago. I've seen it a few times. It's usually on like I want to say like kind of holiday, like kind of Christmas time.
Aye. With the snow, it does have that kind of Christmassy feel, doesn't it?
Aye.
I might add it into the rotation.
So it's on the TV. I'll watch it. Do you know what I mean? But it's I've seen it numerous times, and again for the podcast. So for those who haven't seen the film, a quick summary of it. So a weatherman is sent over to cover a story about a weather forecasting rat, as he calls it. This is the 4th year on the story, and he makes no effort to hide his frustration. As he wakes up the following day, he discovers that it's Groundhog Day again and again and again. First, he uses this to his advantage, and then comes to the realization that he is doomed to spend the rest of eternity in the same place, seeing the same people do the same thing every day. So,
I know that feeling.
It's Groundhog Day in work for me most days anyway. Right, so I got the synopsis I got online was rubbish, so I can added a wee bit to it and that. So hopefully that's a bit better than the usual crap we get. So the film starts off in a TV studio. He's doing the weather forecast. He's delivering the weather as he normally does, live on air. But it's quite apparent that he can't be bothered. I think he just seems very kind of I don't know. He's obviously done this for so long now that he's just can't be bothered with it, and he's quite arrogant as well. I think he talks about the blizzard, the jokes about the blizzard that's going to come. He talks about jokes and stuff like that as if like it's this quite serious, but it doesn't really take it that way.
Yeah.
We get into just to him kind of flirting with, I think it's a makeup artist. I don't know. I think he comes across quite an arrogant, quite a bit an asshole, to be honest with you. Do you know what I mean? What do you think?
Yeah, he's quite hard to take to, I think. He was kind of the same. Maybe it's just a Bill Murray thing. He was kind of the same in Ghostbusters as well.
Aye. I liked him in Ghostbusters, but I liked him as well, to be fair.
I'd love to say he grows on you, but I feel like a lot of his, like, as we'll get into, his like redemptive arc, I feel like he's still just kind of doing it to get with the girl, and he doesn't really show that much change, really.
Aye.
He does in some ways, but I feel like his end goal is always to get with the girl, you know?
Aye. I mean, I get what you're saying, mate. And I think that obviously that's at the end. That's his goal at the end of the day, isn't it? But it comes a lot more complicated than that, I think.
Because normally in films like this, you really like the protagonist, but I think in this one, he is quite hard to like.
I think at the start he is. Absolutely. So
But you can relate to him, like as we
Aye.
said, like this film basically symbolises just the everyday grind, isn't it? Just doing your chores and getting ready for work and all that kind of stuff.
aye. No. So he's been told that he's got to go to Puxatawny, which is the groundhog, because he's going back again to cover the story. Obviously, he mocks the tradition and all that sort of stuff, and again, he's just oozing with sarcasm all the way through. So they go to Puxatawny, and he's in the van. He travels in the van with Rita, which is the new producer, so she's new to the job, and he doesn't really know her, which is an interesting fact as well, isn't it? Because he doesn't really know her.
Mm-hmm.
But by the end of the day,
the end of the day.
At the end of the day,
Oh, maybe not this day, the next day.
At the end of the day, whenever that ends for him. Again, he's just making on the road there. He's just making fun of the whole kind of tradition. Can't be bothered with it. Doing it for 4 years in a row, though, it must obviously. I don't know.
See, another How I Met Your Mother reference. It's a wee bit like the stories that Robin had to cover in her early days.
Aye, I know, but he's a weatherman, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, I guess it is weather related, but I mean, it does kind of seem like one of those kind of Robin Shabasky kind of the stories, isn't it? From How I Met Your Mother.
It was really interesting to see that. I didn't realize the first time I watched this that the groundhog thing's like a real. It's like a real thing that actually happens. It's a real tradition. I also didn't realize the first time I watched it that groundhog was a real animal as well.
A big squirrel and a big rat, he calls it.
Apparently, Bill Murray was bitten twice by it during filming and had to get a rabies shot.
I read that, mate. Aye. I didn't go into the trivia, but actually we can go into just to get on up into trivia
Sure,
if we go
organically, and if there's anything left at the end, we'll share it.
Aye. Aye.
Well, I did have a bit there what we're just talking about. So originally he was trapped in the day loop, nice computing term for you, from the start of the film, like the original script. And then they changed it so it was like the second day.
Right, aye.
Which makes more sense because he has the full day, including the morning breakfast and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's because he builds a relationship with everybody. Do you know what I mean? In the town, not just like from that moment.
Those breakfast scenes are some of the best, I think.
Aye. So you wake up, like they arrive here, but the next on Groundhog Day he wakes up and he's one of the B&B. I think her name's Mrs. Lancaster. Can't remember now.
I'm going to change my alarm clock to I got you, babe.
Aye. So he wakes up anyway, and it starts. You know that song. I got you, babe.
You going to do a rendition for us?
Nah, because it'll get cancelled, mate. So
babe.
It'll get flagged. So don't forget your booties. It's cold out there. That's the radio hosts. You know, as the alarm goes at 6 a.m. He wakes up. He goes about his routine. Goes to the shower. Gets his breakfast and things like that. Aye, I think. What's your whole take in the first scene then? Like as he wakes up in the morning on Groundhog Day.
Obviously, if it's the first time you've seen the film, you don't really know what's going to come, so you're probably not paying that much attention to the song and to the radio. It's only as you revisit them the first time, the second time, and so on that they start to become more important. Like it's really just the start of any day, isn't it?
Aye.
Obviously, I think when you go into this film, you have a rough idea Because when I watched it the first time, I knew that Groundhog Day. I knew the phrase Groundhog Day.
Aye,
Just like the same thing over and over again. It's something that's kind of built into everyday language, isn't it?
that's true. Again, he just can't be bothered. He puts the pillar over his head and things like that, and he's growing. They actually him because the whole town's obviously quite I don't know, chirpy and all that because they're excited for Groundhog Day. Do you know what I mean? But he is the mirror. He's like the polar opposite of that. He's like not at all.
Can't really blame him, can you?
No, I get it totally. But he's in an infinite loop, as he will become an infinite loop. So as he's walking to the town square, he is ambushed by a guy called Ned Ryerson, who's very, very energetic. He's an insurance salesman, but like obviously from here on in, this is where we see these guys every single day. As he wakes up in Groundhog Day. I forgot how annoying this guy was at the start.
He's my favourite character.
I thought he would have been since your screen name. Phil Connors. I thought that was you.
It's funny though because the first time you see him and everyone, you aren't to know that you're going to see them like 20 times.
I know.
I do have a fact about the Ned Ryerson. All of his scenes were filmed on the same day.
It's not exactly, grady acting, is it? Let's be honest. But he recognises Ned, Phil Connors from high school. He's an insurance salesman, but you can tell that he's doing his best to kind of just patch him. Do you know what I mean? He's not interested in the end day in the town. But before that, you see a few things. We see the people walking with banners and stuff like that who's cheerful, but we also see the beggar in the corner. And he avoids eye contact and just walks past them without acknowledging them.
Yeah.
It's important.
There's the puddle as well.
The puddle, but he always seems to kind of, well, not always, but the first couple of times anyway, he always, steps in it. What is it Phil says again? No, not Phil, sorry, Ned. As he steps into the puddle.
I can't remember what it says. But see where he steps in the puddle, there's apparently a sign there, like where it was filmed, that says Bill Murray stepped here.
Oh, is there?
And they've got a bit also that says Ned's Corner.
Ah, right.
That same street.
That's good. So the Groundhog ceremony happens at Gobbler's Knob.
Which is a real name.
Aye, it's still funny, but
yeah.
Phil, they arrived to report on Groundhog Day. Phil delivers a snide, kind of half-hearted kind of segment, with it. I think he says something about, this is one time where television really fails to capture the true excitement of a large squirrel predicting the weather. Which,
Is there not like if it sees a shadow, then something like winter will either end or continue for another 6 weeks or something?
Aye, that's what it is. It continues, so I think it continues for another 6 weeks, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Aye. Well, he's continually just mocking the tradition, the festivities now. He can't be bothered with it. And he just wants to get out as fast as possible. But what happens as they leave? What blocks the exit?
Oh, the blizzard.
The blizzard that he spoke about. So, aye.
When he gets out of the car and he's absolutely frozen, but he's trying to pretend he's not.
Hey guy, it's like the post guy as well. He's like, the weather. He says something about the weather. Told you to stay in. He's like, I am the weather. He's like, I mean, but
I think I will actually rewatch this during the winter months because I think it'd be quite a cozy film to watch.
Aye, that's good. I've got a bit of foreshadowing here. I like to put some foreshadowing. So this kind of like the whole kind of getting stuck at the exit kind of foreshadows his loss of control. He's the fact he's trapped, he's not in charge anymore, and he's obviously trying his very best to get into a situation where he can control, but he's out of the controls now, and he's at mercy to the weather. And
As we all are.
yeah. They go to Tip Top Cafe. It's a wee diner outside in the town. Just kind of talking again. He's just kind of, I don't know, he's kind of just kind of ridiculing the whole kind of thing again. He's not really interested in it, and Rita's kind of trying to defend the town. It's like one positive person on against one negative person. Do you know what I mean? That's what kind of it feels like. Kind of just trying to kind of, at this point in time, just try to set up a kind of emotional kind of tension between them. It's like,
You know what to say about opposites?
aye, it's because he's very, he's very pessimistic. He's and she's also pessimistic, but it's idealism versus cynicism. I think at the same time, where it's like they always want to see the best of it.
She's also new. She's also new to the job, which is automatically makes you more keen. You know.
I was about to say that she's new to the job, so she's obviously kind of a wee bit kind of more perkier on that. Wants to kind of keen, wanting to impress and things like that. Where he's a veteran in the game. You know what I mean? So we go to sleep, and then we wake up on day 2, still Groundhog Day. Phil's jolted by the exact same song, "I Got You, Babe," and it's okay, campers, blah blah blah. It's cold out here today. Confused, and he looks at his watch, and it's still February the 2nd. Going through the same kind of thing, of the B&B, speaks to the I want to say the landlady or something, the person going to B&B, I suppose. Did you sleep well, blah blah blah. But also, forgot to actually mention, he's like, what's the percent, like, what did you say again about the percentage of him coming back again? And he's like, 90% or something like that. And then
He starts off by saying there's 100% chance of.
100% chance of him.
I think that's like a weatherman joke.
Aye. And then she asked him the same this time around. I think he brings it down to 85% or something like that. So he's unsure of the full thing now.
Yeah.
How come he looks out the window and he's like, I don't understand this at all.
Because he's pretty rattled, isn't he?
Aye.
They missed a trick, by the way. This came out in North America on February the 12th, 1993. They should have released it on the 2nd of February. Also, we should have released this on the 2nd of February. We could promote it on the 2nd of February, though.
No, we could. Absolutely. Just need to remember that. Aye, so like obviously he's going through the town again, like pure. Like I would say that he's like totally bamboozled by the whole thing. He's like, maybe it's a prank, I don't know, but he's again seeing the same people. He's got Ned Ryerson again, the same greeting, the same stuff over and over again. Same homeless man. Which I think initially, mate, when the whole kind of start with the time loop.
Well, obviously I knew it was going to happen because I'd seen it before, but I think the first bit with the song and the weather outside, I think at that stage you could accept that maybe someone repeated themselves on the radio. You know, when you first wake up, you're quite groggy.
But
obviously, and like the guy he meets on the stairs, maybe that's just his personality. He just likes to greet people in the same way. But I think it's probably when he gets down to breakfast that he starts to kind of unravel a wee bit.
Aye.
Like it goes back to the whole thing. Like the idea of Groundhog Day, as we said, is all about just that kind of repetitive nature of a lot of daily life. But people also kind of sleepwalk through life as well. Like we all have days where you kind of just go on autopilot throughout the day. And you could miss a lot of the signs. Like we could be living the Groundhog Day right now, but not realize it yet until we got to a certain point.
That's true. It's very
Also, I put Groundhog Day as a recurring event in my calendar, so every February the 2nd I can share it.
it's very philosophical of you.
Yeah. Future
quote-
me will say thank you.
To quote White Goodman on Dodgeball, "Now's a philosophizer."
It's funny you mentioned that because obviously Bill Murray and the director Ramis, how do you pronounce it? Ramis?
Harold Ramis.
They obviously worked together on Ghostbusters. You should check out our Ghostbusters review.
There you go.
Because I've actually worked out how to add the links in there. But they clashed over the direction of this film because Murray, being a big name actor, wanted quite a lot of say. He wanted it to focus more on like the kind of philosophy, whereas Ramis wanted to focus more on the comedy. So also this was the last time they ever collaborated on a film because they bickered so much.
All right. Did they fall out?
Yeah. There's a lot of fallings out between them during the creation of this film.
I mean, I know Harold Ramis died. Obviously,
Yeah.
I don't know when.
I think I read that they maybe spoke again like not long before his death,
It's that time, man.
which is sad, isn't it?
Aye. We've talked about, Harold Ramis, because Phil Connors go to see a therapist, a psychiatrist. He visits a local doctor who examines him with a dated brain scanner. Doctor finds nothing wrong with him, but the actual psychiatrist in the film is himself, Harold Ramis.
Yeah.
He's like, "What's wrong with you?" He's like, "I wake up every day and it's February 2nd again and again and again." So he's like, "Nah, there's something wrong here." Do you know what I mean? Like, he probably thinks Phil's at it. Do you know what I mean? But
As you
obviously, of course. Yeah, what would you say if I said that I'm reliving the same day over and over again? Do you know what I mean? Like, how
Yeah.
with it? But aye. It's also as well. It's like he starts to predict a few things, doesn't he? Like, he obviously he's been there and done it, so he knows what happens. So he tries to predict things like I don't know, was it the tray falling on the floor and all that sort of stuff? And when that
It
comes,
kind of reminded me a bit of the Truman Show when he's just going like, "Oh, camera there," he's just moving about.
aye.
Kind of reminded me of that a wee bit.
There's the next bit as well where he's back in the cafe and he's ordering absolutely everything. So he's got donuts, pancakes, I don't know, bacon and all that sort of stuff. I can't remember what else, but he's sitting smoking a cigarette as well. And do you know what I mean? Like, he's like no care in the world. And he's like, I think Rita says to him, like, "Don't you worry about cholesterol, lung cancer, love handles." And Phil's like, "I don't worry about anything anymore."
Yeah.
Because he just knows.
Apparently, he ate all that food himself.
Excellent. Fantastic. The bit as well where he goes to, because he also like he knows like timings of things, and there's a armoured van outside the bank, and he steals the money as well. So he times it to perfection. That's good.
Mm-hmm. Nah, it's clever the way they do it. Show the moving parts.
There's a bit as well. I'm just kind of getting through this here actually because it's like no day by day, but it's just kind of as I've seen it. Like he meets a lassie. What's her name? Nancy.
Yeah.
In the cafe, and what he's doing is he's just like picking up wee bits and bobs so he can use it the next day.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets kind of the personal details, and then does he write it down? I'm sure he writes it down. Or maybe just remember.
He tends to repeat it quite a lot. And at one point, it wasn't her actually, it was Rita. She's like, "Are you like memorizing all these things, or did you talk to all my friends?"
So, I mean, that's a bit shady, isn't it? Probably, I think here, like he's using it to kind of manipulate her a wee bit the next day, so he can get close to her. Which kind of goes to what you were saying at the start. He's using this power, if you want to call it, to get with a girl.
That's what I don't get. Like, he seemed really keen on her until she started rejecting him, and you see it again and again. But I don't think he showed that much interest in Rita for the first section of the film. I don't think there was like many real hints. Not just sometimes people who like each other just are like slag each other off, but I didn't really think there was much of a connection until he randomly just started saying her name and then started pursuing her.
I think, like Nancy, I think because he's like, well, so she was younger anyway. Do you know what I mean? But I think I don't think he connected with her in that way. Do you know what I mean? I think Phil Connors is, even though he's arrogant and all the rest of it, you know what I mean? He's up himself, but I think he's quite intelligent, and I think that kind of mirrors what Rita is. Like, she's intelligent and all that sort of thing, and I think that's maybe his level of the lassie he wants, or the woman he wants, I should say.
One of the best scenes is kind of near the end of the film when he just starts showing that he knows everybody's name and knows like stuff about them.
Aye, in the diner.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Aye, because he asks Rita about the things that she likes and stuff like that, or her favourite drinks, authors, films, or aspirations, like all that sort of stuff. And then kind of Rita kind of tells Phil Connors, I don't want to say his second name. She tells Phil what her ideal man is. So he's got all that listed as well when he says, and he seems, I mean, like he knows that that's the man that she's looking for, and he's got to kind of do and check those things on the list to make sure that
when he learns piano. There's a good line about the piano. They were saying like, because like from the piano teacher's perspective, he's developed all those skills in one day. But he said, my father was a piano mover. That was the connection.
So, aye. After every sort of kind of every day, he's getting to know Rita, you know, more and more and things like that, and he's studying her. And he gets closer and closer every single time, doesn't he? He goes to kiss her at one point. I think does she slap him at that point? I can't remember now.
I think it's worthwhile. His pursuit of her. See that scene where he takes her when she goes back to his hotel, and she kept saying that she had to go, and he just wasn't taking no for an answer. I must admit, I found that a bit quite hard to watch.
Like he was keeping us up there.
Aye, he just wasn't taking no for an answer, and he just wouldn't essentially let her go when she wanted to go.
Aye.
Don't think that bit aged too well.
No, probably didn't actually, the way as you going about it there. Aye.
Yeah.
Aye, but there's the slap kind of montage as well. He's just getting repeatedly fired.
I really want to know why he keeps getting slapped. Like, what's he saying?
He's either trying to kiss her too soon. He's saying the wrong thing. Like in his head, he's rehearsing every single thing to say to her. Do you know what I mean? When it should, like, you don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, it should come natural. Do you know what I mean? But
it is a thing, not in the way he does it, but like when you're in a relationship, you do make mental notes of, oh, she likes this movie, she likes this flavor of ice cream. Like, not the way he's doing it, where he's going back in time, obviously, and like purposely remembering it, but it is something that you do in life anyway. Do you know what I mean?
I think to this extent, no.
Mental notes.
Aye, but I think to this extent, I don't know, but we don't really see what happens because it's just slap after slap after slap. So we just assume that he's said something wrong because it's Phil Connors at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? He's probably done something wrong, obviously to merit the slap.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's some point he goes, "This is the best day of my life." Slap. This is the best day of your life. And then it's like, aye. So she slaps him a few times, a good few times actually. But he is trying to, he's trying to kind of fast track to Rita, I think, rather than trying to make a genuine human connection.
Yeah. Sorry, the How I Met Your Mother references keep coming back. It's like remember the episode, spoilers, when Barney speaks to Ted about what Robin likes, and he writes it all down in like a notebook,
Aye.
and Robin finds it.
And then, is it that one where Ted's got a lecture and he's
Yeah.
sitting right, aye, sitting right.
Robin 101 or something.
Aye.
That's kind of what it's like, isn't it?
I suppose it is, mate. Aye. He's got you don't want to see these eyes, these eyebrows, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Aye. So, aye. So, the genuine human connection can't be faked. Do you know what I mean? That's what I always mean by that. Do you know what I mean? You can't just. It's got to come organically. I think by time it will, because what he's realizing, what he's trying to do, it can't be done.
Because he starts off hating the fact he's revisiting the same day, but then when he starts talking to Nancy, then Rita, he starts to see the benefits of being able to do this.
Aye.
And then as those situations get worse, he starts to really find it a drain on him, and he's stuck.
I think he realised that. I think he realises how much I know an arse he is. Do you know what I mean? And then it's his journey to enlightenment. Do you know what I mean? To self-righteousness. He's been put there for a reason. That he's got to right all the wrongs and stuff like that. He's got to be more generous. He's got to be more caring. And that's what he tries to do. Do you know what I mean? It took him a while to get there.
Yeah. It also reminds me of a film I watched for the first time last year. Was It's a Wonderful Life.
It's the Christmas film.
At the end of that as well.
Aye, he does tell Rita about the whole kind of he lives the same day over and over again. He says, "I am a god. I am not the god. I don't think, but I am a god. I've been shot, stabbed, poisoned, frozen, hung, electrocuted, and burnt."
That segment of the film got pretty dark, didn't it?
I did.
I don't know if there was any kind of trigger warning. Quite often you get trigger warnings at the start of films for certain themes.
Aye. There's a kind of suicide kind of talk, suicide montage here.
Yeah,
it's quite dark.
Kind of played off for humour, though, isn't it? In some ways.
Aye, it is. But would you get away with it now? I don't know. Cause people are triggered with different things. Do you know what I mean? And I suppose it should be like a warning at the end, at the start of it, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like
a lot of shows now, you do get that at the start.
Aye. So he steals the groundhog and drives off a cliff. That's a good scene. That's a funny scene where he steals it and he just kind of driving, mate.
Drive angry.
But he drives off a cliff and the truck explodes. He drops a toaster into the bath and he electrocutes himself.
I think the woman downstairs realizes what happened because she saw him take the toaster, and then when her expression was quite shocked afterwards.
Aye. I know.
There's a really funny line talking about the lady downstairs. He says, "Have you ever experienced deja vu before?" And she thought it was food, and she says, "I'll check with the kitchen."
Aye. So it was the suicide montage was quite dark. It wasn't nice at all, but it was. I suppose he kind of had to overcome that. You know what I mean? He got to the point where he wanted to die, and then he can't die. How does he overcome it? He's got to try, and the turning point, I guess, is for him to try and do things better. He can't get any worse than it is now. Do you know what I mean?
It was quite a drastic change, wasn't it? There's just suddenly a scene where he starts doing like kind of nicer things for people.
I think the first kind of nice scene I remember is him trying to, he's building a snowman in the park with Rita. That was a genuine heartfelt moment. Do you know what I mean? And Phil says at this point in time, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. All I know is I'm happy now because I'm with you.
Yeah, because she stays with him one night, and at midnight she expects him to like disappear, but then he's like, no, it's 6 o'clock.
Aye.
So they get that wee bit longer. So he was really like making the most of the time, wasn't he? He was staying up to 6 o'clock to spend all that time with Rita. So I think, although I didn't think there was much of a connection at the start, I think there was like a kind of genuine love for her as it went on.
Aye. Definitely. I think that's the turn.
The bit with Ned Ryerson, like, do you know how he's really nice to the homeless guy? Like, he gives him loads of money.
Aye.
Everybody just hugs Ned and basically like asks him out, and then Ned just runs away.
I know. But I think he like I was saying, that he's accepted it now. Do you know what I mean? It's like a gift. So he's that turning point. So he's like taking piano lessons, ice sculpting as well. He does French poetry.
How do people do that, by the way? That's like, I can't even imagine how you begin to learn to do that.
No idea, man.
I can barely take the ice cubes out the wee thing you keep them in the fridge with. Just on the piano teacher, for anyone listening, I don't just know these things, I do look them up. But apparently she was in the film earlier. See, when he's looking for how to get to, what's the place called? Is it Gobbler's?
Gobbler's Knob.
Yeah, he's looking to get there at one point, and the piano teacher is the person that kind of guides him towards it.
Aye, that's right. That's right.
Oh, there's a funny scene with the piano teacher where she just, because he gives her so much money, she just chucks the wee girl out and she's crying.
I know, that's funny.
There were quite a few bits in the film I thought were pretty funny.
But there's the acts of kindness as well, man. So he's like, obviously he becomes, I don't know, a kind of guardian angel. Like a better phrase. He always saves a boy from a tree. He changes a tyre for a group of old ladies. He performs the Heimlich. I don't think you can say Heimlich maneuver now, though. But
why not?
I don't know. I think something to do with the family didn't want to call it that. I think we call it something else.
See the boy in the tree?
Something like that.
I found a good bit of trivia about the boy in the tree. He went on to become a news reporter. The actor.
All right.
It's funny though, but it says the boy never said thank you, but obviously it's the same day over and over again, so he never really has the opportunity to say thank you.
I know. And the bit that got me, mate, is the homeless guy.
Yeah.
So he gives the homeless guy money, and he takes him for something to eat and all that sort of stuff. But no matter how much he tries, he can't stop him from dying. And he goes to the hospital ER with him and all that sort of thing, and he just can't save his life, even though he tries and tries. I found that quite sad, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
For me, that was at the point of him caring so much that he wanted to save somebody's life. Do you know what I mean?
Because then Rita starts to because you know how people just start coming up to him in the street, knowing his name and saying thank you for this, thank you for that, and she's like, "How do you know everybody? You've only been here one day."
I know.
It never really explains the kind of supernatural elements, does it? It doesn't explain why he gets stuck in this day. It doesn't explain how he gets out of it. It's more of a kind of spiritual. It's like more metaphorical, isn't it? Just a bit him changing his ways and getting out of his rut.
Exactly. It's just about his journey to, his being a better person. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, and it worked. But we'll get that he plays piano like perfection. He's a master ice sculpting. He sculpts Streeter's face as well on a block of ice. He's actually nice to Larry, well, which is not something he's ever done before.
Because Larry seemed really not keen on him, but it obviously shows that he's never even asked him if he's got children, for example. And like, I don't know if we find out Larry's second name.
I don't know either, actually.
He's just listed as Larry on Wikipedia anyway.
Aye. Did I say at the start? Just going to double check my notes here. No, it's just Larry. He's just Larry. Aye.
There's a bit where, see, when he drives the car off the cliff and he's like, he'll be fine. And then it blows up and he's like, probably not.
Aye. The charity auction. It's funny as well, isn't it?
Reminds me of the scene in Ted Lasso.
Can't remember that.
Remember when Keely ends up buying Roy to wake Jamie up?
That's right. Rita wins, didn't she? She gets Phil.
Aye, she basically... Because I felt bad for Larry when he went up and there's nobody wanted him.
I know.
Because even... Was it Nancy? Did he start like seeing Nancy a wee bit?
Who, Phil?
Remember he's out in the diner with a girl. Is that Nancy or is that someone else?
That's Nancy, aye. So Larry's with Nancy and he's like, Rita asks Larry where Phil is, and he goes, "Oh, he's at the auction or whatever it is at the end." And she walks in, he's sitting playing the piano, and he's like, "Oh, just it's brilliant, man." And then she's like, she's in disbelief, like the fact how has he managed to like, oh, I know doesn't do this? Do you know what I mean? Because again, she's just met him for the first time. Do you know what I mean? That day. Like, or the second day, technically, do you know what I mean? Like, being his boss and all that sort of stuff.
Is this all in his head? Because, like, see, for everyone else, they probably don't notice any of the changes, do they?
No, they don't. They would notice the change in him, though.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact he does all this in the one day, like when we walk into the thing at the end, like the kind of party, it's like, he knows the women, and they're all like the old women and things like that. They all know it's all Phil Connors. He does all this, like, because they relive it as well, don't they? Because they haven't moved on. They say the same things to the same people to Phil. So aye. So the fact that he gets up that time in the morning and does all the stuff he has to do. The fact that he can ice sculpt and all that's a skill he's just learned. Obviously, he's learned it every single day. It doesn't tell you how long he was stuck in the time loop for.
Yeah, I think it was like I'm sure I read it was like 30 days or something like that.
No, it's got to be longer than that.
40 days.
I would say years, mate.
I'm just going by what I read on one of the trivia pages. I
would definitely say years, because like, you wouldn't be able to ice sculpt like that in 30 days. And you would never be able to. And you have to remember as well, he did all the bad things before.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, mate. I think it's years. I would say at least 10 years. Anyway, Rita and Phil, they dance, and you can see it as they go on, mate. I mean, it's more and more sincere as they go. Do you know what I mean? It's Phil's became this person just because he's been kind. Like, all the stuff that Rita listed off, right? That she wanted that man to be, like, funny, romantic, courageous, and kind. He's intelligent as well, I suppose. Do you know what I mean? That's all him. Do you know what I mean? So he's became that person. He did the French poetry for her too, didn't he?
Yeah.
So, and he knew what didn't work, what doesn't work, and then what does work. And he's actually, I don't want to say perfected it, because that sounds like he's manufacturing it, but I think he's just became that person. The fact he's given
if you take the same actions and repeat the same behaviors daily, over time they do become automatic. It's all to do with gratitude and mindfulness and all that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
There's a scene, when she's kind of staying over and she wants to stay awake but she's falling asleep and he's reading to her.
Uh-huh.
So I read that Bill Murray got the idea for that scene because his wife drank too much on their wedding night and fell asleep, and he was reading to her at that point.
Right.
I think it might be his ex-wife now, though. I think he's maybe changed partners since then.
Right. Aye. The alarm goes off. Next morning, rather. The alarm goes off. I Got You, Babe starts, but it's different. We hear a new DJ chat. Phil's eyes open, and Rita's beside him. She's still there, and he's surprised. So that was the break of the loop.
It's quite good though, because you see that him waking up by himself so many times, and as he starts to date Rita, you actually think that she might appear one morning, but it doesn't happen right away. It happens maybe 2, 3, 4 times after that. So it's quite a good payoff when you finally see her arm and then you realise that something has changed.
Definitely. I did like as well the wee kind of test done. Like, he only done tests and stuff like that with Rita in the diner, like stuff would fall at a certain time and all that sort of thing. But he did the test as well in the bedroom where he broke the pencil and put it beside the clock, and then next morning the pencil was back to normal again. And you know what I mean? So it was all wee things like that.
Yeah. There's also a bit where he's trying to convince Rita, and he says that Larry will come in 2 minutes, and then he writes down what Larry says and hands her it, and that's what kind of leads to her starting to believe him.
Aye.
There was a couple of quotes when they do move on to the next day. He said, "Today is tomorrow. It happened, and anything different is good." And that's quite a good life motto generally. Like, just try new things, or maybe just making small changes to your life. And the one that made me laugh was when they're running out the house, and he's like, "We should move here," because he suddenly just loves this place.
Aye.
And he says, "We'll rent to start," which was apparently an improvised line as well.
Aye. I mean, the fact that it was his prison to start off with, it's became like a utopia now. Do you know what I mean? This is like where he's spent all his time, and he knows everybody, and it's that town's even though he hated the place, he became to love it, and he wants to spend all his days there now. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that makes sense, because if someone was maybe living by themselves in a big city and quite lonely, looking for love, you would be quite sad maybe. And then once you meet somebody and settle down and have someone to share the time with, then your perspective could change on where you live.
Oh, absolutely, mate.
Well,
that's Groundhog Day, mate.
We'll do it again.
Aye. So, I'll do it again then. So, okay, campers, rise and shine. Don't forget your booties, because it's cold out there today.
Oh my God.
I like you, but I can't be bothered doing it again.
I know. Once, let's say, what's the saying? It's not once as a charm. It's probably twice as a charm. I don't know. 2 times a charm. That's it.
Right. Do you want to add anything, mate, before we give a?
Just see if there's any more quotes. Too early for flapjacks. Remember when they drink drive, basically?
Aye.
And they go over the. Oh, I forgot that bit where they go over the train track. When Rita asks him if he wants to join them for lunch, and he says, "No thanks. I've seen Larry eat."
Aye.
I like that one. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else. There's a 2016 musical of Groundhog Day and a 2019 video game.
All right. Didn't know that.
See if there's any other ones I want to. Oh, people considered for the role of Phil: Tom Hanks, who was considered too nice; Chevy Chase, who it always seems to be the same names, doesn't it? Anytime we do films from these eras, Robin Williams,
Right.
Michael Keaton, and John Travolta. So it's always similar names.
Definitely couldn't see John Travolta in this film. I could see Robin Williams playing him.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks, probably not, mate. No, I wouldn't say Tom Hanks would be.
I think the film, although I think it kind of works better when he's not as likable. Maybe. Something I don't think we mentioned was that all the clocks in the diner are stopped.
Have they?
Just try to see if there's any other ones. I think I've mentioned most of them. Oh, this is quite a good one. You know, Buster. What's it? Buster. What's the character? The kind of mayor guy.
Aye, Buster.
Buster something. That's Bill Murray's brother, Brian Doyle Murray.
All right.
Hyphenated. And that was it.
I remember the Ned's quote when he goes into the puddle. Watch out for that first step. It's a doozy.
Yeah. I quite like Ned, actually. He's quite funny.
The fact he became his kind of insurance for everything. Do you know what I mean?
He took out like 7 different types of insurance
policies. Aye.
Because I don't think Phil remembered him at all.
No, definitely
During
didn't.
The first meeting.
No. That just shows you how much like a person he is, like in his own world. He's self-centered. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't care about anybody else. He hasn't never done.
Yeah.
He's better than everybody else, and then it just takes wee things like that. Do you know what I mean? For him to not remember, then eventually can I be a better person, I guess, man. But aye,
it's a very well put together film, I'd say.
Aye. Right, so before we go into our Seismic Stars, then we're going to the Twitterverse. I know you put something on this morning, mate. We got one reply, and I dropped the ball on that, mate, to be fair, so I didn't put it on Twitter, but you asked for people's opinions and comments on it. The VHS Abyss movie podcast said, love Groundhog Day theory that Ned Ryerson is actually the devil and Phil has to sign his soul over to Ned to get out of the time loop. That's quite funny, isn't it?
Didn't hear that one. Did we not get some comments about it earlier on Twitter? Like when we first put the poll out or things like that?
Yeah.
I'm sure it was mentioned at one point.
I'll look, man. So the poll was Groundhog Day, Meet the Parents and School of Rock, and it was quite a tight poll actually. But Groundhog Day won, and if I was obviously professional, I would have this here, but I don't.
It's because we see when you're trying to find things on Twitter, it's because we retweet so many other people that it's hard to find our own posts.
Yeah, I don't really retweet much. I blame Paul.
That's Paul's job. I used to do it, but I think Paul's better at it than me. Nah, I'm having to go like so far back here.
Yeah, I know.
So if you've made it to this point of the podcast, then just bear with us for one more minute. I'm having to go like miles back though.
I've got it. Stellar Future Radio says Groundhog Day is one of the greatest films ever made.
Totally 80s, 90s Recall podcast said one of my all-time favourites.
Underground Promotions wanted us to do all 3 of them in a 3 special series. I said no, that's too much.
Yeah.
I did suggest a live episode though at one point, but that's all we got, man. I can find.
Oh well, we spent a couple there. Yeah.
Aye, that's good.
Worth the investment.
So on that then, what is your seismic star for this film, buddy?
You know, it's like you You usually come into these reviews with a number in your head, but I'm actually going to up it to a 9 from an 8. So I was originally going to go 8. One of my points, which I'm going to retract, was that he's not that likable a protagonist, and that maybe it's harder to like relate to him and root for him. But I don't think if he was likable, it would work as well. Because if somebody's nice and become nicer, that's not as interesting as somebody being quite self-centered and then becoming nice. So kind of dialing back on that a wee bit, you could maybe say that there's a lot of repetition in terms of you see the same things over and over again, just from slightly different angles. But that's not really a criticism of the film, because I think that just because of what the plot is and what the idea of the film is, I think it has to be like that.
Aye.
So, but I would say why I'm taking 1 point off is I would say I still don't know how much of his changes are totally selfless. Like, see if Rita turned around and said, "No, I still don't want you," would he keep doing all these nice things for people? There's a good chance he wouldn't. So, and also there was a few bits like when he wouldn't let her leave. Like, there was a few bits that maybe just didn't translate as well to kind of the current world that we're in. So I'm going to go for a 9, because I think, having discussed it with you, it is a very clever film with lots of nice wee subtle changes, and it's a funny film as well. And it's an interesting premise, isn't it? It's quite unique.
It's unique, 100%.
So yeah, I'm going to go 9 out of 10.
That's the same as me, mate. 9 out of 10. I was all like, I seen it again there from the podcast. It was a 9 out of 10. So I'm staying 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Totally agree with you, mate. I would like to have known, and I get it's up to the viewer to try and work it out right and leave it ambiguous, which I like. To know how long he was in the time loop for. Understand that they left it out for that reason. Do you know what I mean? But I would just like to have had a wee bit of an idea. Maybe his kind of arts and crafts and things gave you a sense of an idea, because I still think it's more than 30 days, Colin, to be honest with you.
Why don't we put that out to the Seismic supporters, see if anyone's got any theories or ideas on that?
Could do. I like the character arc, like a bad guy turning good. Do you know what I mean? Like, we see it in so many films. Like, there's a twist and all that sort of thing. But here, it's a little bit different. It was unique. It was more about his, cynicism, stubbornness, kind of selfishness, all that sort of thing. It became compassionate and kind at the end. Like I say, a journey to self-improvement and things like that. Do you know what I mean? I like that. It wouldn't have worked if it was a nice guy being nicer, like you say. I mean, definitely not.
It would anger you so much if they remade this, wouldn't it?
I would. I don't talk about remakes. I'm not happy with them. But like I say, you can relate to it and all sort of things. It's philosophy. It's a good philosophy behind it. Like we were discussing about, free will and all that. Your own choices you make, the life you're given, you make it better. I mean, like I say, the bit that got me, mate, was the bit with the homeless guy. Do you know what I mean? He was trying to save his life and things like that, and it kind of brought a tear to my eye. Do you know what I mean? A wee bit, because that was him changing for the better. You could see it before he didn't give a monkey's about anything else but himself. The fact he seen this guy in the street and he tried to save him and like feed him and all that sort of thing, and it didn't matter what he done. The guy, the homeless guy, was going to die. Do you know what I mean? It kind of, you seen how, I don't know how gutted he was when it happened in the hospital. Do you know what I mean? I think that was telling well. So for me, mate, it's a 9 out of 10. It's just a great film that I can rewatch at any point. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I will put it out to the Seismic supporters about what they reckon Phil Connors, how long he was stuck in the time loop for.
Yep. Good shout.
Okay. So that's like Groundhog Day done. Finally got there. Next week, we look to record Black Mirror episode 3, which is called Hotel. What did you say?
Reverie, probably not how you say it. Pronounce it.
Reverie.
I'm hosting that one, and next week I will come with my 3 movie choices because it'll be me up. So we're basically doing 2 on, 2 off, aren't we, at the moment?
Aye. Then after Black Mirror, we'll do a series.
We'll find something.
We'll find something.
Come up with something. And if anyone has any suggestions for short seasons of television, not big long ones that we could do, that'd be good.
Aye. I mean, Netflix and all that, Amazon, they kind of limited episodes now, don't they? Like, so
does Apple and now TV as well, I suppose. It's more common now to have like 10 episode seasons.
Aye, definitely, mate.
See,
right, okay. So last bit of housekeeping before we go then, folks. So again, thank you for listening and for subscribing and things. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Blue Sky, and the Facebook pages. Again, watch and listen to us on YouTube, Spotify for creators, and anywhere you get your podcasts from. So,
and remember, we're 2 subscribers away from 200. That's a fifth of the way to monetization.
aye. So again, share us if you can. We do appreciate for sharing and liking anything that we do. But a wee 2 more subscriptions would be fantastic. So please share. Right. Anything you want to add before we go?
I'm Colin. I've normally not seen it.
I'm James. I've probably written an essay on it. And Paul has watched this film over.
Paul probably did the day after Groundhog Day and then went back and did Groundhog Day.
Aye. Something that Paul does. Aye. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys.